once the creation of neutrons and protons occurs, nuclear fusion happens. And what I mean here is that now what you're getting here is that you're getting what? You're getting, so that means here is that the fusing of hydrogen nuclei uses up, how do I say this? Yeah, uses up hydrogen to produce helium. Because the energy density is so high, you could now use hydrogen to do that. So as you produce helium nuclei, energy is released. That is, hydrogen is the fuel for the process. So this is also, this is the binding energy per nucleon, but it's in a different shape. And I apologize that I do not want this one, but that's the one that I have. So you're using helium or hydrogen to produce helium. So how do we do this here? So what I'll do here is that I'm going to draw energy bar diagrams to show you what I mean. So in this process, the way we talked about it before is that you have hydrogen 1 plus deuterium. And what happens here is that now you can form helium 3. So what does this mean here? So if I look at this in terms of energy diagrams, look what actually happens here. So what you're seeing here is down here at the bottom, this is our zero energy, right? This is energy equal to 0. So what we're seeing here is that hydrogen 1 has 0 energy. And then what you're seeing here is that there's hydrogen 2. So when you look at this energy, look what ends up happening here. Is that if I look at these heights, you can immediately see that the height of hydrogen is 0. Then the height of hydrogen 2 is this. And then you look at the height of helium 3, which is right there. Oops, I did it wrong here. It's right here. And so what you're seeing here is that if I compare this height, then this goes, so if I now use fusion to actually create this, what you're seeing here is that there's a gap in energy. And when you look at this gap, what you're seeing here is that this right here is then the energy released. So this here is the energy released. So this is the energy of helium 3. And then again, this is the energy of deuterium. And then, of course, we see that this energy of hydrogen 1 is 0. So every fusion then adds more heat here. So once again, just to make sure that we finish this conversation, is that hydrogen fuel is used up, and as a consequence, it heats up the surrounding area more. Like I said, we're in this incredible chapter, right? Really, really incredible chapter. And we need to move on to the next stage here. And for us to move on to the next stage, I really have to complete the previous stage of the Big Bang. And so my job here is to sort of like try to summarize with the picture and try to see if I could form this in words, looking at the history of the universe. So when I'm looking at the history of the universe, we talked about there's really a two-bang system. There's the Big Bang, the initial bang, and then there's this inflationary period, which is many people say is actually the Big Bang. But we're not going to get there and talk about that. And then we go through these details of this thing. And we said that I kind of talked about this a little bit right here. And I think I want to come back to this picture and sort of like highlight. I did a really terrible job last time. And I really want you to get this right. So I'm going to take this picture with me into the next chapter. And I really want to put everything together because, like I said, I did a very poor job. And I just want to make sure that you see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So I'm going to reduce this just a bit. So here we go. So what I want to do here is that what you're seeing here is that the key thing is that I want you to look at this piece right here. Right here, this is when the inflation stops. And with this inflation here, you now have a region of time where what ends up happening here is that there is you get a production of matter particles. So now you have a production of matter particles. And what that means here is that you've now made quarks and electrons. Now we know electrons are stable and last forever. It turns out that that's not true of quarks. There are 6 kinds of quarks. 4 of them are unstable. So the key in this process here is that I gotta, just to make sure here, what you're finding here is that at this point, no nucleons, no protons / neutrons exist. And the reason why is that the energy density is too high. As soon as quarks try to bind to form protons and neutrons, it doesn't work. The energy that's in there, photons, electrons, and other quarks will literally come in and just smash them into pieces. So then we get to the next stage. So if I now come to this stage right here, so what do I actually see here? And this is really the first key point here.
And the reason why this is a key point is because this is the period where the first nuclei is made. And so you see here where it says protons form. So what we say here is that the universe has cooled. I'm going to run out of space here. Has cooled down enough to allow quarks to form protons / neutrons. Now you gotta think about what I just said here. Because what this means here, as soon as we say protons, in essence, this is the hydrogen nuclei is born. Okay, now you have a hydrogen nuclei. It is not a hydrogen atom yet. Then we get to the next stage. And if you go all the way to 100th of a second, now you come to this next stage. And what you see, it says nuclear fusion begins. Okay, so let's go look at that. So now what you're seeing here is that I should be really careful when I say this. So note that I said, I'm going to make this big here because I think this is an important point. So I'm going to say that the hydrogen, oh, good God, how do you spell hydrogen? Apparently, I don't know how to spell it. Hydrogen nuclei is born, not the atom. Why? The energy density is too high that any electron that tries to connect with a proton is immediately ruptured. Not ruptured, but it's knocked out. So then I get to the next stage and nuclear fusion begins. So what happens now at nuclear fusion, the next 3 nuclei are born. So what you find here is that hydrogen can then form with deuterium, which is hydrogen 2, and the first thing that they make is they make what? They make helium. And then in some strange way, helium and the hydrogen can form to make trace amounts of lithium. And then you could have helium, 2 heliums, then get beryllium. You might have to help me. I think beryllium has 2 L's. So, but we gotta be careful, right? Helium, lithium, beryllium, nuclei. They are not the atoms yet. And this is why the microwave background is so important. Now we get to the next stage. And so what you're seeing here, which is really amazing, just think about what I just said right here. If you look right here, within the first 3 minutes of the universe, the first four nuclei are created. Okay? They're created on the periodic table. Electrons are secondary. So the first 3 minutes, you create the first four nuclei. And then we come to the next stage. Okay, I knew I was going to run out of space here. After 3 minutes, and look at the span, 3 minutes to 380 years. And again, you're probably saying there's no way we can know that. And I'm going to say that's total BS. This is experimentally tested in numerous laboratories over the whole world, and they all come to the same conclusion. So if you think that we're just bullshitting you, no. This is hard science. Now note that some of the details may be wrong, but this overall picture is not wrong. Why? There is such strong experimental evidence. And you might say, yeah, you could say experimental evidence. Look at your cell phone. Your cell phone was first a theoretical idea. But how often do you use your cell phone? How often do you depend on the cell phone? The same technology of cell phone and the same kind of physics is the same physics when we're talking about the expansion of the universe. So now, I've run out of space, so here I go. I'm going to come all the way up to here. And then here's the important point about the microwave background. From 3 minutes to 380,000 years after, I don't think I spelled that right. After the Big Bang, maybe I don't want to say this here. No, I'm going to say this differently. Sorry. At 380,000 years, the universe has cooled enough, okay, enough to allow electrons to attach to hydrogen, helium, lithium, and beryllium. The first four atoms are born.